Well, if you guys have any questions about Knight Rider or Baywatch, ask this gentleman of the high school. What's your name? Mark. Ask Mark, and he'll tell me in English. But if you all speak fluent English, that's cool. So, Mark will ask questions, and we'll take it from there. Yeah. Well, wait, but I want to walk around. I don't want to sit all the way up here. It's too far away. Okay? Let me take off this jacket for a second. Could you hold this?
In the meantime, we have a question hearing back from a stormtrooper.
Welcome, Charlie Drive.
Our stormtrooper would like to know what kind of car you drive.
Which one? Well, I got a BMW Alpina, and I have a 1960 Mercedes. I think it's a 200 SL that's being restored. I have a 1965 Mustang, which is pretty cool. I have a Harley Davidson motorcycle, which I don't drive anymore because I wrecked it. And what else? Oh yeah, I have an Escalade, which is, you gotta have a big Escalade in Los Angeles, you know, if you're gonna be a celebrity, because you have to arrive at something like, you know, impressive. Understand? Yeah, any other questions?
Well, maybe you could start, because this is something that I've been wanting to know for a long time. When they first pitched the idea of Knight Rider, you know, with the computerized car, the supercar, how did that strike you?
When I got the script of Knight Rider, I thought it was the greatest thing ever. I read this script and I thought, this is the American James Bond. I have to get this. I had just left a television series called The Young and the Restless. Did you get that here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played Snapper. It was a daytime television show. And you understand me?
Yeah.
So I left The Young and the Restless to go to New York because my first dream when I was 7 years old was to be a singer. I wanted to go to New York. My first play I ever did was Peter Pan. And I'm still doing Peter Pan. I'm going to be doing Captain Hoff the Hook. Don't you just love me? Oh yes you do. And it's an audience participation show that I'm going to be doing in Wales starting December 14th through January 8th. If you're anywhere near London or Wales, come see the show, it's amazing. But I saw the script and it was about a talking car. And I called my dad and I said, Dad, I got the greatest script ever. He said, what's it about? I said, it's about a talking car. He said, have you been drinking? And I said, no. And he said, well, you should probably start, because that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. And I said, no, it's not the stupidest thing ever. It's an amazing show, and I want to turn this show into something magical and something that's going to last. And 34 years later, we're still talking about Knight Rider. I mean, how cool is that? You know, it's cool, you know? Really. Because television today, especially in America, is fantastic. There's so much quality television on Netflix and on HBO. Movies are a different story. It's very difficult, I think, to find a great movie. But television has turned into something magnificent. And it took a long time to get there because we had to go through reality television. And If you know anything about reality television, none of it's real. You know, none of it's real. And it is not entertainment. It's, I don't know what it is, but it's not entertainment. And I think that Knight Rider was entertaining. I think Baywatch was good to look at. And I think it was entertaining because we saved lives. It was about saving lives. It was about heroes. It was about saving people. And the theme of Knight Rider is one man can make a difference. One man can make a difference. How cool is that? And I have so many people, so many men come up to me in line and say, "You are my childhood hero. You influenced me in a positive way." And that to me makes me feel great. Why? Because one man made a difference. I made a difference in your lives, but you have made a difference in my life. I mean, I'm in Belgium. How cool is that? And seriously, it's cool, man. It's cool to be in Belgium. It's cool to have a name Hasselhoff, and people actually can pronounce it in Belgium. I mean, my dad, they wanted me to change my name, and I took a lot of crap in high school for the name Hasselhoff, you know? I'm not even going to tell you what I was called, because it'll be out everywhere. But I was made fun of in high school because of my name. And I decided that I'm going to make that name as famous as I can. And I did. And in 1993, I came back and I told my dad, who passed, a really good friend of mine, I said, "Dad, the stupid name Hasselhoff is the most famous name in the world. It's in the Guinness Book of Records as I'm the most famous TV star in the world. So Hasselhoff has got to be the most famous name in the world." And that made me feel really proud. Not proud because I made it, proud because I could show that to my dad. I mean, we all want to be proud in front of our parents. We all want to be proud in front of someone. And I think that it's what keeps me going. It's what keeps me positive. It's what keeps me at 64 getting on a freaking airplane and flying here, and then on Monday I'm flying back to Los Angeles, and then on Wednesday I'm flying back to London, and then 2 days later I'm doing Call of Duty. You guys know Call of Duty? I'm in Call of Duty. I'm the new star of Call of Duty. And I'm excited about that. I feel cool about that. And then from there, I go to Singapore. And I still love it. I still absolutely love it. And it's because you made a difference in my life. If you never watched Knight Rider or Baywatch, I wouldn't be here. I'd be sitting at home, waiting for the phone to ring. But I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't be waiting for the phone to ring. I make the phone ring. You can either wait for the phone to ring, or you can make the phone ring. And you can either watch television, or you can do it. And anyway, any more questions? Oh, lots of them.
Hello, Mr. Hasselhoff. One of your songs is a personal anthem of mine. Of course, talking about looking for freedom. I wanted to know, what was that song about? What you define as freedom, and did you actually find it?
I've been looking for freedom. I've been looking so long. I've been looking for freedom. Still the search goes on. You know, I sang that And on New Year's Eve, 1989, I got a call saying, could you sing this on New Year's Eve? And I said, only if I can sing above the Berlin Wall. And I thought they would say, forget it. Forget it. No way. They said yes. So I called all my friends and said, come on, we're going to Berlin. And I sang about freedom. After that, there's a special, you can look it up, it's on YouTube, everything's on YouTube. You can look on YouTube and you'll find David Hasselhoff versus the Berlin Wall. And you'll actually see what really happened. And what really happened over there affected Belgium as well, and affected all of us. But I mean, you really have to watch what happened, because if you watch what happens, then maybe it won't happen again. And freedom to me is this, is the freedom to walk around in a country and talk about whatever and have people actually care about listening to you, you know. And freedom to me is happiness. What else is there? Music, women, and happiness. I don't know in that order. It's probably happiness first, and then women, and then music. But I mean, those are the three things I think that are important. The most important thing to me is my happiness, but it's really the happiness of my children, so that I know that I was a good dad and that they're successful. Any more questions?
Hi, my name is Marcus from Germany, and I actually do have two questions. First one is, do you have a personal favorite Knight Rider episode? And the second question is, what's coming up next? New music, maybe a new Knight Rider movie?
What's the first question? What favorite episode?
Favorite episode of Knight Rider.
Oh, episode of Knight Rider. Well, the most watched episode of Knight Rider is Kit versus Car. You know, and Car's out here. You seen it? Anybody know what Car stands for? You know what Kit stands for? Knight Industry 2000. And what does Car stand for? Knight Activated Roving Robot. And that was the most successful Knight Rider. And then I think after that was when I played Garth. Remember when I played my evil twin? Yeah, my dad said that was the worst episode he ever saw. He said Garth is a much better actor than Michael Knight. And I said, it was, I think my favorite episode of Knight Rider, I don't know, you know, I worked really hard on making Knight Rider have a story, and I worked Knight Rider have a theme about saving lives. I never ever wanted anyone to die on the show, and I worked really hard on having a sense of humor. Because I think if you don't have a sense of humor, and you don't laugh at yourself, and you don't laugh at your stupid mistakes, because we all make stupid mistakes. If we don't laugh at that, then we hold it inside. And if we hold it inside, it's going to come out. And it's going to come out in the wrong way. And it's going to come out in stupid behavior. And we've all done that, including me. And I made a pact a long time ago. Nobody can bring David Hasselhoff down. Don't hassle the Hoff. The only person who hassles the Hoff is the Hoff. And I've hassled it. And I've done it. And I've learned from it. Any other questions?
Hi. How do you feel that science fiction like self-driving cars is becoming a reality? And have you been driven in a self-driving car?
The answer is, have I driven in a self-driving car? The answer is yes. I went to Google Mountain View, and I met Sergey, who's one. He's the owner, or the creator, or one of them. And he picked me up in the airport in a self-driving car. And I was driving the car, and they said, take your hands off the wheel. And I said, what? They said, take your hands off the wheel and your feet off the accelerator. The car will drive itself. And I went, okay, so I did. And I'm telling you, I was never more nervous in my whole life. But the car drove itself. The car changed lanes. The car stayed equal distance behind the car in front of him. The car actually went over the speed limit, but not over the speed limit to get arrested. It was like, I think the speed limit was 55, the car went 65. But if you wanted control of that car again, all you had to do was touch the wheel or touch the car anywhere, and you would have full control again. So I did drive the car. I saw them making the car. They were actually giving out an award called the Hoff Award, which was given to the person who, two guys, who they felt worked the hardest and showed the best perseverance to make the cars. And they actually had, I'm not sure how many cars, but I remember something like at least 15 or 20. They all looked the same. And they were making the cars so that you could take the ceiling of the, like a siren on top of the car, which is all the data, and put it on any car. And Sergey said it would be ready in about 2 years, but it wasn't. It's 2 years since then, and it's pretty amazing. And the best part about Knight Rider and Kid is it's all come true. The car drives itself. The car talks. The car can think. It stops at a stoplight. It stops when someone's driving across the street. So all the Knight Rider stuff has come true, which is pretty scary because now everything in science fiction, maybe in 34 years, is going to come true. I won't be around, but maybe you guys will be around to see it. It's going to be an amazing time. We're living in an amazing time. We're living in a dangerous time. We're living in an amazing time. We could just all, you know what? Facebook. Have you seen my stupid Facebooks? Watch me on Facebook. You know, and watch the way I can communicate with people, because I can communicate with somebody in Hungary, and somebody in Turkey, and somebody in Brazil, and somebody in Sydney, and somebody in London, all at the same time. You know what I asked I asked a question on Facebook, and you know what the biggest response I got to the question? The question was, what time is it? I said, what time is it? And everybody checked in. They checked in from London, they checked in from Sydney, they checked in from America, they checked in from East America, West America, and it was, they checked in from India, they checked in from Turkestan. I mean, it was crazy that they actually knew who I was, and they responded to me, and I was able to actually talk to all those people at once. And I'm going to do more of that. I think it's really important that we communicate with the rest of the world, because we really don't know what's going on. You know, we read stuff in the newspapers, and we see stuff on television. It's not what's going on. What's going on is what's going on with you guys. It's the same thing. It's driving around your city and seeing police everywhere and going, what the fuck, man? What's going on here? Yeah, okay, there's politicians in town, but still, what's going on? What's going on around the world? So it's our responsibility, I think, to communicate with each other. Anybody else got a question? Yes, sir.
You got any new plans for making songs like Kung Fury?
I love the song. It's called True Survivor. It's got 25 million hits. I mean, but they don't want to release it as a record. They don't want to give me a record deal. Go figure. But I am planning. I wanted to do an 80s album. I just love the 80s. I miss the magic of the 80s. So I have much more plans on doing many more songs like True Survivor. And I'm starting in July, and David Sandberg, who did Kung Fury, is now releasing a major movie. And David Sandberg, if you don't know the story of Kung Fury, check it out. He started on television and raised $600,000. He's a geek. He's a total freaking geek, and he raised $600,000 and made a magnificent movie because he went out and just did it. You know, it's really cool, and he's a cool guy. And so I got involved because I'm a bit of a geek, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. So yes, I'm planning on doing more songs like True Survivor. I'm planning on working on the Kung Fury movie. And I'm planning on continuing it because it started with a guy, a young boy, who called me and said, "Is this the Knight Rider?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, Can you sing my song?" And I said, "Who are you?" And he said, "Well, look at my film. It's on True Survivor." So I said to my assistant, "Hey Nick, give me YouTube. I want to look at this." And he goes, "Okay." I said, hang on. What's your name again?" He said, "David." "Hang on a second, David." So I went, I saw 5 seconds of it. I mean, that's all it takes. 5 seconds of this thing was like, whoa, this kid's got something. Boom, I was there. I flew all the way to Sweden from America, made the record. And the record turned out pretty good. So yes, the answer is yes. Any more questions?
We have a question over here.
Hi. Do your kids fans of your early stuff, and do they prefer Knight Rider or Baywatch?
My kids are totally into Knight Rider right now. My daughter can't believe how cool Knight Rider is. She's, my daughter's 26 now, but she started Knight Rider. She got me to do SpongeBob. I said, "Have you ever heard of a sponge named Bob?" And she said, "Yeah, SpongeBob, Dad, SpongeBob." When she was like 9 years old, she convinced me to do SpongeBob. And honest to God, SpongeBob has kept me cool and kept me young. Because as long as you stay current with the kids, I think it's cool. But no, I think they really prefer Knight Rider. But I'm not sure how they feel about Baywatch. Any other questions?
After portraying a hero in Baywatch, in Knight Rider, how was it for you to do a bit of a cameo at a geeky comedy such as Dodgeball?
Dodgeball was awesome. I love, it was awesome. I just got done doing, I've done so many cameos, it's like, I should do like a movie called The Cameo King. And I've made some pretty bad movies like Piranha 3DD. I love that movie. It's the world's worst movie. also made a movie that's not out yet, which I produced, and then a long Hollywood story, but it's called Killing Hasselhoff. It's about a celebrity death pool with some amazing comedians, and most of it was improvisation. And I think after you get to the first half an hour, then you'll like it. But I'm planning on doing, Dodgeball was great. Ben Stiller called me up and says, "You speak German, don't you?" I said, "No, I don't speak German." I said, "Get me a girl, put her behind the camera and have her speak German." And then they did. And so I just copied what the girl said. But I'm planning on doing more. I just finished doing the Baywatch movie with a guy called The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, who's a pretty cool guy. And I thought I was playing Mitch Buchanan. He's playing Mitch Buchanan. So when I met him, I said, "You're Mitch? Well, who am I?" You know? And I said, "Well, I must be your brother called Itch." So we hit it off real well, and Zac Efron was also in the movie, and they're just two cool guys, and hopefully the movie, I think, will turn out pretty good. Knight Rider, I have no idea. I'm still trying to get Knight Rider like the TV series. I'd love to become like the Devon character, have my son take over, let him drive, you know, let me be the boss. But they're not looking at Knight Rider that way. They're looking at Knight Rider like Starsky and Hutch, like being a comedy, and I think they're gonna, I don't know. I'm not real excited about the way they're gonna do Knight Rider, because I think everybody who grew up watching Knight Rider wants Knight Rider to continue kind of the way that it was, which was kind of cool. Any other questions?
If you would have the opportunity to change something in your life, what would that be?
If I had the opportunity to do something in my life, what would that be? Sleep.
To change something.
What? Oh, to change something in my life. What would that be? Wow. I don't know, you know. If I had something to change in my life, it wouldn't be anything personal. It'd be something bigger than that. It's like I said, Facebook is amazing. I was talking to people in Turkey after their airport was blown up. And I just said, "Well, wow, man, how do you feel about that?" You know, and it was a really human response that I got. You know, and I think we kind of forget about that. It's called complacency. And I think that's the world's worst word, is if we become complacent and we allow what's happening. And we allow what's happening. And it's going to happen. And it's going to happen again. Do I know how to change it? No. No, but I think together we can. So if I could change anything, I would change the word complacency. And that would be maybe it being more important in our lives to react to someone on television than a lion. We all react to Cecil. Was it Cecil? Anyway, my girlfriend's telling me to cut this off. Yeah, because it's getting too heavy. So, any other questions?
Thank you, Mr. Hasselhoff. Just wanted to say thank you. My kids and I love SpongeBob. But I was going to ask about the Baywatch. I'm always asking how fit that you are, but doing movies and things, I mean, you really are fit. Is it more of an eating diet, or do you actually have to work out a certain way? I'm really curious.
No, you know, when I met Dwayne Johnson, it was like, oh my God, he's like a man and a half. I mean, you know, he's like, and Zac Efron is even more buffed. And, no, you know what, Baywatch, I learned how to work out because we had to. We were lifeguards. We had to swim a lot. We had to be in the water a lot. So we had weights on the set. Yeah, and it was all about eating. It's really about diet. It's about diet more than anything. It's about drinking a hell of a lot of water, but it's really about diet. You know, if you eat right, even if you want to have a sweet or mess up once a week or twice a week, if you go to the gym, you're okay, you know? You gotta get in the gym. You gotta do the cardio, you know? There's a saying, if you want to dance, you gotta pay the fiddler. So, right now I feel like, you know, I could actually be in better shape than I am, you know? So, I would, can't wait to get back into the gym. I'm in the gym every other day, you know? And when you get to be my age, you know, it's like the gym can be addictive as well, so you don't want to overwork out. Any other questions?
What was your best moment ever in Baywatch?
Oh my God. My best moment in Baywatch was every day. I mean, it was crazy. It was my best moment in Baywatch. I think my best moment in Baywatch was we had a scene about a boy that was dying of cancer. I know it sounds hard and stuff, but the show made a difference. And the boy who played him, Michael Cuccione, was a friend of mine. So I think that was my best day. Or else, the best day I think I ever had on Baywatch is we had a new assistant director, and he was very nervous about telling the girls to take off their towels. So he would say, okay, background, and when you say background, it means you drop the towels. And then they say rolling, and everyone goes. And he was really afraid to do that. And my favorite part of Baywatch was watching him do that and watching all the girls react. And it was a lot of fun going to work on Baywatch. Let me just say, we had sunshine and beautiful girls, and you know, the guys weren't bad either. But it was a beautiful experience. You know, and as much as you read about it, and as much as you've seen, it was more like a family. We had a lot of fun. We laughed a lot, you know. We laughed all the way to the bank. Any other questions?
Actually, we're out of time, so I'm going to take the final question myself. Do you remember the first dialogue that you uttered to Kit, the car, in the pilot? Because that line always stuck with me.
You know it?
Yeah.
What was it?
This, Darth Vader's bathroom? That's what you said.
I don't know. What's this? Darth Vader's bathroom?
That's what you said to your car.
Wow. You have a question real quick? What is it?
Your watch on Knight Rider is working good.
Was my watch on Knight Rider working, really? No. It was a piece of junk. No. Nothing worked on Knight Rider. It's Hollywood. Anyway, thank you all very much. Thank you. Adios.